Formazione torre di Pisa. Capito, io pure devo fare le riprese.
Juliette! Thank you. Un petit coucou pour nous, Juliette!
Come mano nelle... Stai registrando già? Italiano, spagnolo, voglio vedere il inglese. Tedesco ma male. Russo ma pochissimo. Ho iniziato all'università dopo un anno. Parla molto bene lo spagnolo, la sentita. L'hai visto?
Jesse! Emma! Yes!
Emma!
Hey, Yorgos! Emma!
Emma! Jesse!
Emma, to your left, Emma! Attenzione! Nessuno da prendere!
Giusto, vai via.
Mi hanno detto che i mascali di Ramos sono però dai, almeno è passato. Però no, l'ombrello tienilo però. Metti l'ombrello. Sto facendo tutte le cose con gli ombrelli su tutte le gambe. La cosa mia, tranquilla.
Oh, pardon. Sorry. Oh, ok, vediamo.
La tela arriva pure lui.
Oh, cos'è?
Non era capitato lei.
Can I do this so I don't have the rain?
Oh, yeah, of course you can. Yeah. Sorry, I wonder what he's doing.
Yeah, it's a weird.
Can you hold my cameras like this? Yeah, no problem.
Ma ora arriva George Clooney anche, no?
Sì, ma dopo. Ho capito, mi metti la roba, no?
Dove aspettare? Aiuto?
Wow. That was that for you? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you got some few bits, did you? It's good. Yeah, all right. Yeah, cool. Who's shooting for? Oh, okay, cool. Oh, we did. Yeah. Sorry. AP, exactly. I've forgotten your name already. Yedim and I'm Adam. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. How about you?
Where are you based?
Based in London.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Where's AFP in London?
It's next to the bar, well, close to the bar.
Oh, okay.
Do you know where the old London Museum around?
Yes.
It's very close to the bar. Do you do mainly entertainment?
Always entertainment. 30 years of it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's coming a long time, yeah. Excuse me just a second. Is that going to go to Sean? Do you reckon? Carl? Yeah, do you want to, if your ladder's there, maybe take it to... You hit your cameras. Have you hit them? Or are they doing that? I'm going to step back in.
You want me to?
Well, I mean, I'm going to put it down. I'm going to go under the cover there.
Yeah,
so
I'll leave it.
Do you want me to have it over your bags? Or?
Can I have it?
Yeah, until I come back.
I'll stay here.
Yeah, okay, sure. Hello, mate. Yeah. You're all right. So, just under.
How are you? Wow, look at you. Yes, I haven't seen you. I saw you on the red carpet. Yeah, because you were the only one. And I saw my camera. So, but I on the left hand side. Yeah, so I watched you happen, but I saw you moving around everywhere. But I couldn't come on top of this. I can't just throw shiny glue around. That would have been nice. I'm from the Rhineland. People in the Rhineland, they're called the happy Rhineland.
That's why it's so good.
It's the nature of these people to be happy and to be very social. It's round Cologne. It's round Cologne.
It's raining from the roof. Yes.
They wanted to tell the Russians to fuck off and they wanted to join France.
You should have done that.
No, they wanted to, but Russia wouldn't let us. Assholes.
When was this? In the
1848. And there was a
interesting story.
Yeah, it's an interesting story. But the tradition is much more Safavive than Russia. You know how Russia is horrible. How Russia, you know that Voltaire, when he was invited to the Russian people, was great. Speaking French, but he lived in Russia. So it's going there is shit that they don't have good food and stuff. But because he wanted to show that he's smart, he invited Voltaire to join and look at Russia. And Voltaire, he invited Voltaire, he ran off. Because he never So that's the problem between us and the Prussians.
So you're going to be here for the long term?
Last year we was I do that. Style. I used to everything around town. It was hard by town. With past that.
Jay Kelly. You need to have
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask him to push a little bit the level.
Thank you.
J'ai 3000 comme blanc maintenant. Déjà
Moi, c'est 3,9.
39 3009.
Mais tu sais, c'est peut-être parce que moi aussi, je reçois un peu plus de. Je sais pas. Apparemment, il pleut.
C'est Sony hein, qui utilise.
Sony 9.
Ouais, c'est étonnant, parce qu'entre un Sonic et Sonic, il y a une grande différence dans les plans, mais what is your white one?
Sorry?
Sorry.
No.
What is your white one?
4.6.
4.6.
Oh, it's a
Got
low
3,000
one.
here, 4.6, and how much do you have?
But it changed because it was
3.6.
3.6.
It's changed again.
Yeah.
It was a lot cooler earlier, and now it's overcast outside.
Apparemment, il pleut à fond. Hein.
Thing I'll do.
À fond.
Ah ouais.
Ouais. It's raining heavy.
Yeah.
Thing I'll do for now. Because the light from outside is constantly changing.
No, they will fix it in that. I'm sure you remember so many beta Essex and like white ones. And then when you put the tape on the tail, you see like pictures pinkish. And you can't fix it. Après,
De quoi tu dis?
quand on filmait avec les beta ski, on faisait le blanc là, et des fois tu ratais, tu sais, des fois tu partais, tu voyais que c'était
Oui, 3.6.
vert.
I don't know. It's like because it changes so much in the light outside.
For me, it seems correct.
It looks fine when you look at it.
C'était de l'art.
Ouais.
Tu filmais, tu retrouves de l'eau. J'espère que je ne vais pas aller.
Sur le point.
C'est combien maintenant?
3011. Je veux dire 3000. Ça correspond assez bien à l'union de l'Empire sixteen. Yeah, green. Yeah. It is.
Buongiorno, benvenuti alla conferenza stampa del nostro film in concorso Bugogna e prima di cominciare vi presento gli ospiti al tavolo a partire dalla destra in fondo. Il compositore Jersky Fendrix, il direttore della fotografia Robbie Ryan, l'attrice Emma Stone, il regista del film Yorgos Lanthimos, l'attore Jesse Plemons e lo sceneggiatore del film Walt Tracy. I'm going to start with a question to Yorgos, and then we'll open to the public. Yorgos, this film speaks about very much about the present time and about a disconnect with reality that breeds division in people. What made you want to tell this story?
Well, it's, partly what you're saying. I read Will's script. It was one of the first times that I hadn't been involved from an early stage in a project. But I read Will's script that Ari Aster and Lars Knudsen had developed and I, was immediately blown away. I just felt it was so, you know, funny and entertaining, but also like extremely impactful and made you like really think about things deeply. So yeah, I immediately was interested in making it, and it felt very relevant then, and that was like 3 years ago or something, and it feels even more relevant now, unfortunately. So yeah, it was just an immediate reaction to the script. Then we worked a little bit with Will to just shape it a little bit more to what I imagined the film to be and my vision. But yeah, from the beginning, it was a incredible script that I've never before, been given a script that felt so ready to be made.
Will, do you want to add something to do you want to add something to what you said about it?
So thank you. It's sort of a dream for me to work with Yorgos, because he seemed to know from the beginning what it was and what he wanted to do with it. It wasn't a long kind of puzzling over what does it all mean, and kind of he really wanted to preserve the ambiguity of it, and he just enhanced the impact of it kind of across the board. So it was really a wonderful experience.
There's a question there.
Hello, morning. Marco Consoli, Daily La Stampa. I have a question for Emma Stone. In this film, you play a powerful woman, a woman of success, and as in Jay Kelly, that is gonna be after this press conference, we see how wealth, fame, success can transform people. I mean, and make less empathetic. So I would like to ask you, how do you manage success without turning into an alien? Thanks.
How do you know I'm not an alien? Yeah, I know. I haven't seen Jay Kelly, but I think there's a tricky aspect to that answer that's probably longer than anything that anyone would want to listen to right now at a press conference with the film. But I think everybody sort of deals with that now. There's a lot of self-reflection for everyone when social media or the way that you're kind of viewed outside of yourself to the world. I don't know that there's a time that's more like we all kind of can relate to that feeling of somebody thinking they know you or thinking you can express an opinion and having it feel fraught and intense and like you don't have much control of the thing, or I call it the avatar outside of me. Because there's me, and then there's like me here, if that makes sense. I separate the two in my mind a little bit, which I maybe need to do less, but I think as a coping mechanism, there's like the person who comes here, and then there's the person I am with all my friends and family, and they're the same person. It's just different things to keep myself sane, I guess.
Question there?
I don't know if that was clear, sorry.
Great to see you guys. Hey, Emily. I wonder if you have this unique working relationship with Yorgos now that, we rarely see a lot in Hollywood. We're continually working over and over again. Can you talk a little bit about how he takes you out of your creative comfort zone? That there's a constant challenge, and that Yorgos, for you, what is it about Emma that kind of allows you to maybe go into a different territory than maybe you wouldn't with another actor?
Well, it's clear I love working with Yorgos. I love the material that he's drawn to and the worlds he wants to explore and the characters that he's been generous enough to let me try my hand at. I think it's also important to say that with the exception of Will, we have all worked with Yorgos multiple times here. One of the most amazing things about his process is that he invites everything I've worked on with him, I've also worked on with Robbie. And this is third time with Jerskin, or second time with Jesse, and first time with Will. Welcome. But what's really special, like this whole front row, is we've all been working together on multiple films, producers and our AD, and it's our costume designer multiple times. So what it ends up feeling like is a really comforting and safe environment to kind of explore and feel as free as possible, because you know these people. It's kind of, it is that, you know, I know everybody says that like we're a family thing, but it does really feel like that when you've made so many things together and you've sort of been in those trenches together. So that's just an additional part to it I wanted to add. His turn.
Do you go, wow, I have to do this now? I mean, is it something that it's really fascinating to you as an actor?
I mean, anything that I've been part of in my life, that's how I felt. And the opportunity to get to work on these things that I have with him and everyone here, it has been just a dream, because this material is so, there's so much. And it's, I mean, for this film specifically, there is so much that's happening that I think is reflective of this point in time in our world, and it's told in a way that I found really fascinating and moving and funny and fucked up and alive. So, I mean, yes, with this, definitely, that's how I felt. But that's, yeah, the consistent thing. Do you want to answer anything?
I mean, you said it all.
I guess I said it all.
I have a question for Jesse. Jesse, you bring empathy to a character that, especially at the beginning, is really hard to relate to. And I'm wondering, how did you find that person and the capacity of making us believe him and not just detest him for what he's doing? And what was the work that you did to get to him?
I felt like it was all in the script, and I felt like, you know, the journey the audience takes seeing the movie is probably similar to my experience the first time watching the movie. You know, I think probably throughout history, there's been a human instinct to sort of unconsciously categorize someone, and I think I even probably, as soon as I started reading the script, probably tried to do that. And then you know, turn the page and something else is revealed, and this whole, his core, his relationship with Don, all of what you discover happened to his mother. And you know, I could talk for a long time about Teddy, but my way of understanding him was, you know, he's really tortured soul that was trying with all his might, like he says, he just wants to help, which is crazy. It's a crazy thing to say at that point, but I believe that, you know. So it was all there, and then it's a constant discovery from scene to scene and day to day, and you know, there were a million things that helped me find my way in.
There was a question here.
Hi, Maria Guerra, Quinótico, Spain. Well, thank you so much for this shocking, disturbing movie that I kept thinking about what are dystopias for today? I mean, I wonder whether what Emma Stone or Lanthimos or the Plemos, because the movie starts and you feel like you are seeing the American dystopia, which is going on. But it was so disturbing to think, what is this idea for? Why are dystopias for all of you?
I'm not sure I understood. Are you saying what are dystopias for? The use of dystopia?
Yeah, I think as a creative tool, as a narrative tool.
Well, I think, again, unfortunately, not much of the dystopia in this film is very fictional. A lot of it's very reflecting of the real world. So I wouldn't necessarily call it a dystopic film, which I guess in my mind is like you present a image of the future of what happened to civilization. And I think, if anything, this film says this is happening now. And actually, it became more relevant as time went by. This is happening now. Humanity is facing, you know, a reckoning very soon. Like, people need to, you know, choose the right path in many ways. Otherwise, I don't know how much time we have with, you know, everything that's happening in the world, with technology, with AI, with wars. It's just the climate change and the denial of all these things, how desensitized we have become to all these things. So yeah, to me, it's just more of a reflection of our times, and hopefully, you know, will trigger people to think about what's happening today all around the world.
There's a question here.
Hi there. Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm Mia from Next Best Picture. Congratulations on the film. My question mainly is for the cast. If you've known about the source material before, how did shooting Begonia or Begonia in general differs from Who Saves the Green Planet?
I decided not to watch it before we shot.
Neither did
I have not seen it yet, but I think soon I will. I'm slow to do a lot of things, as these people know. But yeah, I think I was worried that it might take root in this film in a way that might not be helpful, and it just felt like the script was so alive and vivid, and there was enough to chew on there that you know, I sort of worried about it muddying something for me. But.
Will, do you want to say something to that, or?
Yeah, I mean, I myself have only seen Save the Green Planet the one time. I think as a writer, I don't really like to have, if I'm adapting something, I like to take a pretty free hand, or else I feel it's not really worth the effort. So I also didn't kind of want it in my head. But I think I immediately saw, it was Ari Aster who suggested it to me, just that I should check it out. And so I immediately saw how it could be made contemporary and American, and kind of threw my voice and what I wanted to do with it.
I have a question for Robbie and for Yorgos. As always, Yorgos' films are formally striking, and this particular time you've decided to use a not very easy format, VistaVision, and that creates a sense of brings a sense of hyper reality to the film. Can you talk about the choice and the challenges of using this format in the photography?
Yeah, we chose the VistaVision format. We filmed a section of Poor Things on that format, and we really liked how that looked. And it's, it is a beautiful kind of look. So we endeavored to experiment and maybe do it on a whole feature film. And that created a lot of hurdles to kind of get over, because it's a bit of an old camera. Apparently, it's its anniversary last year. But anyway, it's a beautiful camera, but it's very big. It's very, very vintage, shall we say, and it has its own issues. So, things took a little bit longer to do, but I think the results are really beautiful. And we shot quite a lot of the film. Most of the film was shot on VistaVision, and they're very noisy cameras. So Jesse and Emily kind of had a lot of another character in the room as such. And for us filming it was like another character, because it had a lot of it wanted to go to the Winnebago all the time because it was always breaking down on us. But it does look beautiful, and I think as a format it's fantastic, and I'm really happy to see that a lot of people are using it these days.
There's a question right there.
About this movie. Mr. Lanthimos, we all know at some level people like Kelly, and we know that they might be very loud when something bothers them. Do you think that these kind of people will be triggered by the movie? And for Jesse, It's the second time after Civil War that you play a controversial character such as this, and that one left a mark in the collective imagination with the line, "What kind of American are you?" Do you think that this character will leave an impact as well?
Oh boy. Um, you know, that's an interesting question. I think my personal belief is, yeah, for some people, it might not be, it might not be the right thing for them to see. I mean, some people that don't like violence shouldn't see these things. But I also think we have a sort of an instinct in general to really close the book on things that are scary, that are hard to look at, hard to examine, hard to understand. And so for me as an actor, it is a way that I can myself try and make sense of some of these things and some of these people that are very difficult to understand. And I think it's also there's a risk in writing them off as being non-human because they are and they exist, you know. So yeah.
There's a question here. There, no, okay, fine. Don't fight.
Sorry. Hello, I'd like to ask a question from Yorgos. This is not the, well, throughout your career, you've been doing most of your movies that somehow dealt with the cult, with the idea of God, with some sort of structure of power. In this year, we've already seen several movies that focus on the topic of cults. Eddington came out earlier, and Honey Don't Twist, for example, another movie that somehow touches on the topic. And I see that most of these movies this year, and your movie from last year, Kinds of Kindness, mostly are made from the authors, from the ones that want to somehow talk about something important. Meanwhile, the big genre movies, the big blockbusters, they're going into more of an escapist type of movies, trying to talk about something simpler, not focus on so much on the issues we have in the world. So my question is, do you think this is the trend in the filmmaking today, or maybe there's something else that is going on with the big studios and the authors with the smaller studios? Something like this. Thanks.
I think it has been a trend for a long time. I mean, the weird and complicated thing about cinema is that it's, you know, both art and entertainment. And because of the cost to make films, it becomes very challenging to, you know, choose which films are going to be made and how. So I think, and also there are films that are both. I think. So it's a very complicated landscape. I wouldn't rush to just, you know, separate everything to categories, which is actually a very important theme of this film, like how we have bias, you know, as people, how we view other individuals, other groups, other, you know, categories, and we just can't see through that. So yeah, I mean, I really don't know how to say. It's everybody's, you know, quest to make the films they want to make, and of course, you know, it's becoming more and more difficult financially for more independent films that have different themes that have not been tried to be successful, to be made. But that has always been the case, and I think it's just getting more and more difficult, if that's what you're saying.
Question right there.
question to Em and Jesse. Could you tell us something about the physical preparation and how did you shoot the fight scenes? And Emma, was it difficult to say hello to your hair for the role?
Was it easy for me to shave my hair? That's the easiest thing that you just take the razor. It's like so much easier than any hairstyle. The physical preparation, I did some fight training. I tried to work out quite a lot. I don't know how effective that was for the beginning of Michelle. And then our fight sequences, I guess there's a few. We had a stunt coordinator and we worked that out. We had amazing stunt doubles as well for some of the things that were a bit more complex. But what about you? How'd you physically prepare, Jesse?
Boy, I will say it's so easy to read a script. You're like, Teddy's running. Oh, okay. Yeah. But Teddy is running a lot. Teddy runs for pretty much the last act.
You know, I said that to Will one night when there was just like a ton of cars. He was on set and he was like, isn't it crazy you're just sitting in your house like this? There are a bunch of cars out there. And it's like $1 million just to write that sentence.
No, and that I remember Will visiting set during that third act because we shot somewhat chronologically and just seeing him sitting there, just sweating and but anyways, yeah, there was like Emma said, we obviously had we had fight rehearsals and all that, and I mean, I always looked at Teddy as a sort of wiry guy. I grew my fingernails out. Yeah, I don't know, that sort of stuff.
Signora qua, che aspetta da un po'.
Grazie. Congratulations to everyone on stage. I'm curious to hear from Justin and Lanti and Yorgos about their collaboration and how it's evolved over the course of these 3 films you've done together. What comes first, the images, the sounds? Music is a very large and quite violent character in this film, perhaps even more so than in Poor Things and Kinds of Kindness. So yeah, tell me about your working relationship.
Well, I can say a little bit that it evolved in me giving him less and less information before he composes the film. From film to film, I just give him, less information. So for this film, I didn't allow him to read the script. I just gave him like 3-4 words, keywords, and then he composed the whole score based on that. And he only saw the film after I used the music to edit, during the edit. Take it.
I can confirm this is true. I think the last 3 films have been just a process of Yorgos messing with me more and more. In his defense as an esteemed director, I probably would have written a very different score if I had known what the film was about or read the script, and I think it turned out fine. So we're also very lucky to have, thank you to Focus for this, we got a 90-piece orchestra from the London Contemporary Orchestra, who are an incredible group of musicians, and working with them was fantastic. And you can hear in the film how well they perform.
There's a question right there.
Hi, this is Maria from Spain. I would like to ask Yorgos, but also the cast. We seem to be heading towards our annihilation, I don't know, and even running. But do you believe or do you think there is an ultimate intelligence looking upon us and maybe saving our lives or not?
That's a very complicated question to answer in a serious way. I mean, the gist of it is I have no idea. I don't think my cognitive capabilities are enough to answer that. I've actually been trying to to become a physicist lately and a neuroscientist. But I'm very early on that journey, so I'm looking for answers too. I don't have them yet. I'll get back to you.
There's a question here. Oh,
Oh no, I was just going to say, I don't know about looking down on us, but one of the, speaking of physicists, one of my favorite people that has ever lived is Carl Sagan, and I watched his show Cosmos, and fell madly in love with his philosophy and his science and how brilliant he seems to be. And I think he very deeply believed that the idea that we are alone in this vast expanse of the universe, truly, not that we're being watched, but that we're alone out here is a pretty narcissistic thing to think. So yes, I'm coming out with it. I believe in aliens. Thank you.
one question here.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alex. I'm here with Film Updates. Lovely to meet you. Congratulations on the film. Yorgos, Emma, and Jesse, you're coming off from Kinds of Kindness, which was very much an ensemble movie, to this, which is relying on the two of you guys as performers. I was wondering, how does that play as a preparation as actors? Is there more pressure for roles like that? And is there any difference that you felt?
I mean, every film, every project you do has its own unique set of challenges and excitement, and they're all different. And I've done projects where I pop in for one scene and you can almost miss me, and then I think the only difference is more time and more lines. I mean, Teddy didn't stop talking, so that was part of it, was just making sure I had a handle on the scenes and the dialogue, so I could enjoy myself with the scenes and I wasn't, reaching. But yeah, they're very different movies, but it was nice to have this sort of familiarity and foundation and all of that.
I agree. Very much. Yes.
I think we have time for maybe one there.
Hi, everybody. This is Paul from Greece. Thank you for the film. Thank you for these amazing performances. I was in awe of your performances. We think that Yorgos has proven to be an actor's director as well. Academy Awards, your award in Cannes. And I think that when you're offered another part of his films, you say blindly yes. But I was wondering, is there something that he has ever told you to do and said, Yorgo, I love you, but no, this is going too far? Or your trust in him will make you even jump from a building if he asks? Thank you.
Are you saying in individual circumstances or to an overall film? Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. No, he's very, very open and collaborative. If there's something where it's like, no, this doesn't make sense. He's not crazy,
It is kind of fun to imagine what that line would be with me, because I don't know. I haven't seen it, so. But his movies, as however you want to classify them, define them, I always perceive them, among many other things, as having a real human quality to it. And so, as absurd or dark or humorous or all these other qualities, at the core of it, it's exploring. They all seem to be exploring something very human that is interesting to me.
And unfortunately, I'm told we are run out of time. So thank you, everybody, for being. Thank you so much for the film, and thank you for coming.
No, è proprio vuoto,
Prova un po' a dire. Dimmelo proprio basso basso, Andrea. Cioè proprio a pelo con la mia bravo. Un po' di più. Emily Mortimer.
Can you stop just for a second? Give Emily for a second, please. Yes. Step back, step back. Thank you. Sorry for directing you like this. That's right. Looking. Okay, and back. All the way to your right. Straight ahead. We catch you just for you, huh? Look here to your right. Bella. That's right. Look, here we go. That's right. Look to your right. Straight ahead. Thank you so much.
Emily over here. Big wave.
You make a big stop there, okay? And to your right, let's go from here. Good smile you have. And just straight ahead to here. That side here.
To your right.
Good work. And just looking straight ahead, just here. Lovely smile, bella.
Can you take your shades?
And over your shoulder. And over your shoulder.